Hello everyone, welcome to Here We Go. In this lesson, let's talk about 7 space eyes and all the eye space that are larger than 7. Right, so now we've studied 1 space eyes to 6 space eyes. And by the time we got to 6 space eyes, I already told you that most 6 space eyes are living shapes because 6 intersections is really large for making eyes. And now we're going up to 7 space eyes. And this might be a little excessive. I can imagine some teachers of beginning Go players skipping a 7 space eye shape, which makes sense because it is not absolutely necessary. But the only interesting shape really is this. All other 7 space eyes are living shapes. You can try it on your own. This one doesn't really have a name, but the intersections are kind of as concentrated as possible. If Black plays, Black can just go here, and this is 2 bent 3s, right? So bent 3 is at least 1 real eye. So Black has at least 2 real eyes in this shape, and Black is alive. This should be pretty straightforward, and we do not need to try other spots for Black. And as you probably already guessed, right, this point in the middle is the key point for this shape. And if White plays here, the result is a mutual life pattern, or seki, which we will cover in just a couple more lessons. Right, if Black goes here, this will just be reduced to a bent 3 shape. Right, White can either capture Black, or even if Black captures, this will be a bent 3, and White will kill Black. So once you get to this point, Black must stop playing. But if White moves here, Black will be able to capture a bent 4 pattern, which is alive. This is a scenario where if Black plays, Black will die. If White plays, Black will live. So it is bad for either side to play. And that is why we call it mutual life. These 3 white stones here in the middle are alive. They are not dead. And Black is also alive because White cannot kill Black. So we'll talk more about the seki, or mutual life pattern, in another video. For now, the main takeaway is that for this 7 space eye, even if White goes first, Black is still alive. And that is significant because now we know that any eye space that has 7 or more intersections are probably alive. One condition, of course, is that the shape of the pattern is more or less complete, right? So here, Black does not have any cutting points in this shape. So it's a pretty solid, complete pattern. If there are many cutting points, the analysis might be different. But theoretically, if there are no cutting points, if it's a complete shape, anything that's 7 or above is completely alive. And that's really why when we talk about territories, when you surround intersections that are way more than 7, it's almost automatically alive. Right? For instance, the lower left. Here, White has surrounded 13 intersections, and that's 13 points for White. And in real games, when we reach this pattern, players would not think about, is White alive here? Because of course, 13 is way more than 7 or 6, and it will be very easy for White to make 2 eyes in here. White doesn't really need to worry. And for this lower side, it's Black's territory. Black has surrounded 21 points. And when you're playing, you wouldn't worry about whether Black is alive because Black has surrounded 21 intersections. And it'll be very easy for it to make eyes if it needs to. And in real games, oftentimes if you have 21 intersections surrounded, you don't need to make eyes inside of it because your opponents cannot kill you. And in this lower right pattern, it's still incomplete, but White has many intersections surrounded. So even if Black reduces it, White is still alive inside because White has surrounded about 7 to 8 intersections. And this will be a living shape. Same with the upper right. Here, Black has a continuous pattern with no cutting points for White, and Black has surrounded 10 points. During games, you wouldn't really spend time trying to calculate how to stay alive or how to kill such a large eye space, especially when there are no cutting points. Lastly, we have two shapes that are incomplete, right? So the upper left, sometimes before the very end of a game, you might see patterns like this. Black has surrounded this corner, and this corner is quite big, right? Black has about 16 intersections surrounded. So 99% of the time, it's alive. You wouldn't really worry about staying alive if you're black. And if you're white, you wouldn't want to spend too much time thinking about how to kill this large corner because black has so many intersections around it and the eye space is very large. Similarly, the upper side is surrounded by white, although it's not a complete shape, but this is close to 30 intersections, so it's a huge eye space if we are talking about life and death. And in real games, if you already have a large territory, you do not need to worry about life and death because, as we already know, 7 intersections can already guarantee a living shape. So that's really the main takeaway from this lesson, is that if you surround a big territory, 99% of the time it is automatically alive. So throughout these past few lessons, I'm hoping that you learned about one of the basic ideas of eye space, is that the larger the better. This is important for real games. This is important for solving life and death problems. The amount of eye space is always going to be an important consideration in life and death. Thank you for watching.